Hi, my name is Andrew Henning, and I am the consultant that has been working with the city of Petaluma and local providers to develop this strategic plan for addressing homelessness in Petaluma. A little bit about me, I've been working to end homelessness in the Bay Area for almost 12 years. During that time, I provided frontline outreach in some of the region's largest encampments. I helped manage a growing workforce nonprofit that was helping people experiencing homelessness get jobs. And then I also served in an executive leadership position in local government, overseeing homelessness and affordable housing policy. This process has been unfolding for almost a year now, which is hard to believe, but we've covered a lot of ground. And so for this part of the presentation and the videos, I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about the process and how you can be a part of it. So basically, a number of things have happened over the last year to really help me and the team better understand what's happening in terms of homelessness in Petaluma. So that's involved a number of stakeholder interviews with local providers, city officials, county officials, members from the continuum of care, which is the kind of governing body for homeless services across the county. I've also been reviewing parallel planning efforts in other subregions of Sonoma County, planning efforts at the county level, at the regional level across the Bay Area and the state. I've also been reviewing past reports and efforts throughout the community to basically quantify the needs. So, how many people are currently homeless in the community? What's the number of people that are at risk of becoming homeless? So, just getting a better sense of the numbers. I also worked with city staff and local service providers to create a program inventory. It was 26 questions, and we were able to get some really valuable information about over 40 programs in Petaluma that are serving people experiencing homelessness, ranging from outreach to shelter to housing to other services. Part of that inventory actually included a question or two questions, I should say, about common referrals into programs as well as common referrals out of programs. And using that information, I was able to create a systems map showing how people are flowing through the system based on their touching the different services in the community. And so we got that information. And then and on top of that, which I think is super critical, was also involving people with lived experience of homelessness to understand their perspective of how this was working. So I joined local outreach workers on a number of trips to local encampments and to talk to people experiencing unsheltered homelessness. And then I also hosted my own lived experience feedback panel for people that are currently homeless in Petaluma. And I provided lunch and financial stipends for those folks to participate. The last thing, and again, it's been a lot. It's been a very busy year. Is actually just being more directly involved with the work. I think one of the great things about the city of Petaluma is that they are not waiting to create this plan in order to actually do something about homelessness. I think a lot of cities say they want to do something and then it becomes a long and tedious planning process. Petaluma is actually doing things and building the proverbial airplane as we try to fly it. So that's involved being part of the Project Home Key team that with Burbank in the city and the county, with the People's Village Project, helping with some of the outreach coordination that's now happening in the community, and then also getting a state grant of over $1 million to help support people that are currently living in encampments. So again, all of these different things have given me a really great understanding of what's happening in the community. And the result of all that kind of discovery work is a set of findings, which are going to be in the survey that you can complete after watching this video. So I'm not actually going to go into the findings right now. Those will be included in the survey body that you're able to complete. And then my hope is that you can provide feedback on whether or not the findings are resonating with you, if we've totally missed something, if you want to emphasize something or any kind of edits. So, and at a high level, the findings are basically looking at what's working in the system, what's not working in the system, what are opportunities for progress, and then what are potential threats to that progress. So those are kind of the big buckets of findings. And when we actually put out the final report, there'll be a lot more information as well about all the things I talked about, the other kind of parallel planning efforts, the program inventory, quantifying the need, but at least to keep the survey as kind of simple as possible and not be overwhelming. It's going to be really focused on those findings. The next part of the survey is then focused on the draft strategies that have come out of the findings. So again, I'm going to let you kind of self-navigate through that and look at the draft strategies that we've developed, as well as some of the draft kind of tactics, if you will, of trying to actually implement those strategies. And so there are 8 of them. And again, I'll let you look through those and you'll see kind of varying levels of, some of them have a lot of ideas, some of them have fewer ideas. One strategy in particular, I believe it's number 7, is really focused on how the community can be involved in helping to solve homelessness. And so that has deliberately been left blank because I would love your feedback, both through this forum and also the community workshop that we're doing. The final piece to this is, taking the findings, taking the strategies. The final layer here is then understanding, how do we pay for the system that we want to create? So it's one thing to list a lot of strategies and say a lot of things that we want to do, but it's another to actually invest and pay for those things. So the final report will include kind of an investment plan, or at least some financial consideration of how the city could itself fund new programs and services, and or leverage city funding to actually tap into other county, regional, state, federal funding sources. And then lastly is also then, how do we know that any of this worked? So the final report will also include a series of recommendations around how we measure and evaluate this system. So again, that's not going to be part of the survey, but I just want you to know that that is going to be part of the final presentation and the final report that is shared with the city council. And again, that will be another opportunity to provide feedback and any edits. So I hope this video was a helpful orientation to the strategic planning process. And if you have any other questions or thoughts, there'll also be a section in the survey for any just kind of more, again, general feedback or thoughts about how this has been going. So thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. And if you're joining us in person as well on the 31st, I'm looking forward to meeting you then. All right, take care.